my name is Phillip Martin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And if you enjoy this channel, or even if you really don't enjoy the show, if you don't really care for it at all, if you could consider subscribing to it anyway, that would be fantastic. And hit the like button, that is awesome as well. At some point, I'm going to do some reading on why liking videos makes them helps them. Like how I would really like to go inside how this freaking algorithm works. I have no clue. It's like it's just magic to me. You know, he could be saying "Zim bim" and it works. I don't know. But please, if you could hit subscribe and like both those things, fan dabby double dozy. I have been watching The Witcher, and I finished watching The Witcher. I'm so excited that I actually finished watching a show. We've got Lock and Key starting tomorrow. I've got to try and get to that as well. So, how many? 4 episodes of Lost in Space to go? I will persevere. I will do it for you, my faithful viewers. Fine, but I'm watching The Witcher. This is the last episode. I've enjoyed this series. I really have. It's okay. Firstly, it was a terrible mistake to compare it to Game of Thrones. It's not like Game of Thrones. I mean, it's got like a magical medieval setting, but it's nothing like Game of Thrones, and I think the comparison hurts it. What this is, though, is like a really enjoyable fantasy adventure. You know, it's with enough of a layered and deep enough lore to keep you busy in it. It doesn't have that like really stark realism when dealing with like how human beings work, which I think is what made Game of Thrones so unique, well, especially for those first 5 seasons. Shame about the last 2 or 3. What can you do? But anyway, so I finished watching The Witcher, and here's how it ended up. So we start off. Geralt is in the ruins ruins of Sintra after the city has been sacked. He's going through he sees blood and corpses everywhere. A really nice scene. He goes through Ciri's room, and you feel like connecting to it. He's looking through his things like a storybook, and you can the idea of his promise to protect her is like ringing in his ears at the time. It's a good scene. It's a good scene. Yeah, and I think that's what The Witcher is. It's a lot of good scenes that build up to make a good narrative. You know, I think the storytelling structure was a little bit experimental for a first season, but honestly, again, I'm generally I was a complete newbie. I am totally on board. I'm looking forward to the prequel movie they got coming. Although how are they going to do a prequel? Because like the timelines were so mixed up here. Whatever. I'm up for that. I'm up for the second season. I'm glad that I stuck with it. And yeah, I really stuck with it for a few reasons. I stuck with it because everybody loved it and I thought it was good for the channel. But I really stuck with it for another reason. I think that's something really neat we need to talk about is because of Henry Cavill and how much he's sold the series. You know, which I appreciate that and I respect that. I think that's something that we really should the creators should really learn from the Comicsgate people, which I really want to get into Comicsgate. I'm on to page 40 of a graphic novel right now. It's going to be like an 80, 90 page one. When the channel gets to 1,000 subscribers, I think that's probably when I'm going to launch the Indiegogo. But what I love about the Comicsgate people is they are unashamedly proud of their work, and they're eager to sell it and tell people how great it is. And that's something that Henry Cavill really, really did with the show. And it was because of him, because of his effort, I'm still sitting here, still reviewing it. You know, so hats off to him. And I think it's something that creators really need to be doing more. Like be proud of your work, you know. Don't be like, oh, I did a thing. No, be proud of your work and say, I did this fantastic thing. I can't wait for you to see it, because then it make you know it's got some worth to it. So that's really what sold me on the series more than anything else, really. Fine. So we have the Witcher's going through the record of Sintra, and he goes out to the forest, and there's a really good scene where he meets this guy. Yoga, who you initially think he's a grave robber, but it turns out to be this really good dude, and he's like he's trying to bury all these bodies of the people that have been killed in Nilfgaardian attack on Sintra, so then we get something that's like again I think the core brilliance of this show, we have this zombie attack. These zombies come up out the ground and they attack the witch, and the fight scene is freaking awesome. He's without his sword in it, and he again just the way he moves how they choreographed it. The special effects are seamless. I didn't even think about that before, but it looked like a bunch of zombie monsters were attacking him to me. Like skeletal monsters. So actually, you know what this is? I just realized this show owes a lot more to the Ray Harryhausen fantasy movies of the '60s than it does to Game of Thrones. I think. I think it's between the two. It's between Jason and the Argonauts and Game of Thrones. Okay, fine. I finally worked out the elevator pitch for it. Okay, so the Witcher fights the zombies, but he's bitten by one and he passes out. So Ciri wakes up from the night before, who had this demonic possession. When I think that they were going to rape her. That's what it kind of seemed to be. It was kind of gross because they were people who were friends with her beforehand. And she wakes up and she's the devastation caused by whatever it was that took her over, and she's people thrown on trees, and horses get and she's woken up by the woman who took her in, who looked after her, who is must be the best good Samaritan ever. Not only did she take in this way for she then went looking for her and found her. Fine, so she takes her back home. And then we get into the main bulk of the episode, which is a rowboat going through foggy water, loaded with mages from what's it called again? Was it Aretuza? Yeah, Aretuza. Who are going to fight the Nilfgaardians. They're going to this strategic place where the Nilfgaardians have to go through after they've sacked Sintra, kind of proving that they do want to take over the whole continent. Right? So in this group you have Yennefer, Vilgefortz is really good in this, Tissaria and Triss, and a bunch of others. So they're going to this old elfin keep, Sodden, which is again this strategic importance. So fine. So then you have a lot of time with them preparing for the battle. It's kind of reminiscent of the what's the second of the Lord of the Rings movie, the ones with Helm's Deep in it. Yeah. Oh, that was much better. Okay, I have to tell you, look, I like this show. It was no Battle at Helm's Deep, but it was still pretty darn freaking awesome. With all the preparations, and then the magic battle starts, and is viewed afar from by Ciri, who's with the woman looking after her. When they see these really cool lightning bolts, balls of fire being thrown at the rebel mages, and what's really cool about it, it kills somebody to make this ball up. So then as these fireballs come to them, Yennefer catches them and throws them back, which is again, all this stuff is freaking awesome. So the Nilfgaardians, they have 50,000 troops now from the freshly raised city of Sintra, with Fringilla is their chief mage. I think she's in charge of them. Fine. So they're firing the fireballs at them. Meanwhile, the Witcher is delirious from his wound from being bitten by a zombie thing, and he's being cared for by Yoga. He's on his cart, and he's hallucinating and reliving memories of he's either hallucinating and or reliving memories of his childhood. Everything is kind of molded into one. What's the name? That guy's name. Kahir, Kahir is there, so that's probably a hallucination. But it's really good to get, because we haven't had any backstory about The Witcher at all. And I like that we're just getting little flicks of it rather than being told, outright. I guess it could give us more scope for the next season. Fine. So as he's recovering, the battle's raging on. Yennefer conjures up these mushrooms that the Nilfgaardian soldiers walk on, creating this smoke or what? No, not smoke. This stuff that causes them to either pass out and die. I couldn't tell. On the Nilfgaardian side, you have one of their mages creates this thick fog that protects them. And there's this fantastic battle between Vilgefortz and Cahir with like magic swords, and their swords keep like vanishing and reappearing. Vilgefortz is defeated, but he survives. We see him again towards the end of the episode, and it is strongly intimated. I couldn't really catch it what he was saying, that he's really a triple agent working for the Nilfgaardian king. I think I wasn't sure. Other standout moments, we have Fringilla meets up with was it Tissaria, like the student form teacher, and that was a really good little moment. And then there's the other thing where Fringilla manages to smuggle in this like black box into the rebel major's camp, and then right after she takes out Tissaria, is that okay, I've only had 8 hours of this. Like Game of Thrones, I could tell you all the names of it. I'm still getting used to it. But there's just the box is filled with all like these worms that like just go everywhere. There's like the magic computer generated worms go everywhere, and they're very Star Trek 2ish. They get into people's heads, and you get them going through their ears. Captain, they put creatures into our bodies. It's much like that, and they possess them. So there's this kid there who then like goes on and blows up all their stockpiled like magic grenades or whatever they are. And there's like a lot more cool magic stuff going on. The defenses are breached, and I think it's Tissa. Is it who? Which one is it? I'm while looking through my notes, see if I can find her. I think no, it's Triss. It's Triss. It's Triss. She builds up. If it's not, I guess somebody's going to tell me. She builds up these this very cool effect. These vines like trying to protect the gate from the Nilfgaardians who are attacking. She gets taken out. So ultimately, the mages are overrun by the massive Nilfgaardian numbers. Okay, during all which the Witcher is having visions of his childhood, of his mother. We get more of his backstory. We hear like only 3 out of the 10 kids sent for Witcher trials survive. Did you know that was the case? And she's like, you better not ask me these things. But she gives over like this really important message that that destiny has a way of bringing people together. People linked by destiny will always find each other, which is kind of the thing that drives the rest of the episode. Fine, so the Witcher wakes up, and I can't remember what happens. Yeah, the Witcher wakes up after, and he's still on the cart from with was it Yoga? I think his name. So the battle's over, and the rebel mages are defeated, and like a nearly dead Tissaria tells Yennefer to forget bottling up her power, her essence, and she says, "Let your chaos explode," which is exactly what she does. She then like makes this massive firestorm out of nowhere, conjures a massive firestorm, which then eats up the entire Nilfgaardian army. At least seems to be the entire Nilfgaardian forces. And just as after that happens, I think King Foltest arrives with the Temerian army behind him. Obviously, he wanted to hold back the Nilfgaardian advance. So it seems to be Nilfgaard is pretty much dealt with at this point. Okay, so the next morning, Ciri wakes up again, and of course, she runs away again, because that's what basically she does. She runs into the forest. As she runs into the forest, Geralt shows up with Yoga, and we discover the woman who's been looking after Ciri is actually Yoga's wife. So that's bad timing. We've been trying for 8 episodes to get these two people together across destiny, and they just miss each other. Geralt then goes into the wood to look for her, grunting his way as he goes. And the season ends with Ciri and the Witcher finally meeting, and Nilfgaard is being defeated, and we get to see a taste of Yennefer's real true power. And it really, I'm on the edge of my seat for more. I'm kind of sad that's where it ended. When's the next season going to start? This was a good opening season. I'm telling for somebody who knew nothing about The Witcher. It brought me in. It educated me about it. It made me want to learn more about it. And I'm up for it. So I think we can just call this show a success. I will call it a success. I understand that a lot of people are upset that it focused more on Yennefer than it did with The Witcher. Honestly, I think that I like the way this show came together. It seemed to work for me. Did it work for you? What are your thoughts on The Witcher? What are your thoughts on my thoughts on The Witcher? Do you disagree? Let me know what you think. My name is Phillip Martin, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, and have yourself a fantastic day.